subhanAllah, when we look there, we see buruj, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called it, burujan. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called it buruj, and when you look at different kinds of in a different ayah he said masabih. We made it into like literally flashlights. The scholars, the scientists nowadays, they said without those lights that are reflecting from the different stars, what we see here are stars and galaxies and what have you. Without those lights, they said we would not be able to discover the universe. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, masabih. They are flashlights. وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينَ. And they are also used for other purposes. And we are talking here about, this is like, one of these is a galaxy. This, the entire galaxy, which is a lot of stars, millions and billions of stars. And within each single star we have so many planets, and who knows, maybe there are life in any of those stars. Earth is just one tiny little planet that follows one of those tiny stars, which is called the sun. And we are in one tiny portion of this earth in here somewhere. And this is not the entire universe, just one part of the universe, or one small patch of the sky of the universe. وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, He is swearing by the sky, ذات البروج. How can we translate al-buruj? Burj and burj, the horoscopes, is it the horoscopes? Different kinds, like al-aqrab, the scorpion, different stations and different types and different places. Some of these we know the names of them, many of them we do not even know the name of them because they are far away from us, and many of them are just recently changed. The sun, this is our sun, a closer look to the sun. And it is expanding. The entire universe is expanding. وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا بِأَيْدٍ وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ. Not only expanding, it's actually at the same time kind of decreasing, because billions and billions of tons of its material, or of the power of it, is being, a lot of explosion happening every day, and a lot of the tons and the weight of the sun is decreasing every day, because it is, sending the light to the earth and to like everywhere, and it will come to the point of time that it will just disappear. And the entire universe, according to some physicists, they said it's because it's pulling out. It is expanding. وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ, like a balloon that you are blowing into it, and it is expanding. Feel free at any point, if you have any expertise. I know for sure Brother Abdul Rauf can help with any of these things. Either correct me or add anything that you feel you need to. The main point is, subhanAllah, this is happening. Our universe is expanding. Our earth is expanding in a very small, tiny percentage, but it is, and that's what Allah said in the Quran that we read every day, and we just need to reflect on. This is the sun in here. إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about in the Quran. If we look at the clouds, Allah called it al-mu'sirat. Al-mu'sirat is something that's soaking, that it's ready, if you to make asr, to twist it, it's going to give you water. Al-mu'sirat. These are the clouds that are thick because they are full of water, being carrying water, evaporation of water, and then it will be ready to give it down somewhere. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about this. وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ الْمُعْصِرَاتِ مَاءً ثَجَّاجًا. And we send down from those thick kind of clouds, مَاءً ثَجَّاجًا, or water that's coming in abundance. We see all of that happening to us. Again, this is another picture of the universe and the galaxies of the universe around us. SubhanAllah, if you compare your creation, or the creation of earth, or anything that you think of as big, your house, your city, your country, compare that to the universe. we are nothing. We're just no more than a sand on a beach in that huge creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you look at this, this is a picture of one of the black holes. And a black hole is when one of these stars, which is full of energy and a lot of things happening in there, it comes to an end and it explodes. But all of this energy is, in a way or another, being, condensated or concentrated in one point in the middle, and that causes the black hole. And around it, we see all of these sound waves. And these black holes are running around in the universe and literally sucking or pulling anything that could go, that could meet them or go around their ways. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about everything. تسبح له السماوات السبع والأرض ومن فيهن وإن من شيء إلا يسبح بحمده. Everything is following that system that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. This is an image of the lower or the lowest point on earth. غُلِبَتُ الرُّومُ فِي أَدْنَى الْأَرْضِ. Allah said in Surah Al-Rum, the Romans has been defeated in Adna. Adna is the lowest. One of the words is the dunya. The derivatives of that is a dunya. This life is the lower kind of life. It's not the full life. Adna is the lowest point on earth, and this is a picture of that. The Dead Sea, yes, exactly. This is the Dead Sea, and this is they found, the scholars and the geologists found that this is exactly the lowest point on earth. Adna, the lowest ever. How could we know about that? Or how could anybody know about this fact at this time? Allah mentioned this in the Quran. We might stop a little bit with that, and again, feel free to share anything. السقف المحفوظ. In Surah Al-Anbiya, Allah said, وَجَعَلْنَا السَّمَاءَ سَقْفًا مَحْفُوظًا. Saqf is a ceiling or a roof. Saqf. This is in Arabic called a saqf. Mahfuz, and it is protecting, or it is being protected. And this is a picture of the earth. This is the earth in here, and around the earth, we see the magnetic field. This is all a magnetic field, and had it not been for this magnetic field that's around the earth, somehow we would have received a lot of rays and a lot of bodies and a lot of things from the sun that would make life impossible on earth. So we are protected, we are taken care of because of this layer of ghulaf al-jawi around us that is literally protecting us, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that. وَجَعَلْنَا السَّمَاءَ. Sama refers to the sky, anything above you. We made it saqfan mahfuza, a canopy or a roof or a ceiling that's literally protecting or being protected. Protected from any outer bodies or outer rays that could come and affect everything in life. وَجَعَلْنَا السَّمَاءَ سَقْفًا مَحْفُوظًا. Allah said, وَهُمْ عَنْ آيَاتِهَا مُعْرِضُونَ. أَعْرَضَ is to show your width. Like أَعْرَضَ, literally I'm facing you, muwajah right now, with my face, with my wajh. If I do that, I show you my width. This is أَعْرَضَ, turning away from you. Allah said, but they turn away from its sign. They are heedless. They do not think of it. We walk, we eat, we drink, we drive, we go to the masjid, we pray, but we do not really know and think and reflect that we are taken care of. As-sama is protecting you, saqfan mahfuzan, day and night. We are asleep and we are enjoying the weather, and enjoying the whatever it is that we are enjoying, and in the very time that we are enjoying it, there are the canopy of the sky, the layers of this canopy is protecting you and protecting earth and protecting something that had it not been there, it would probably have come right to you, to Panama City or to your house, but you are protected. And Allah says, وَهُمْ عَنْ آيَاتِهَا مُعْرِضُونَ, and that's already discovered. All of these are later on. What we do to earth, what we do to life is what you see in here. ظَهَرَ الْفَسَادُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. Fish, and I have seen this myself many times because of the pollutions and the polluting things that we are dumping into rivers, into oceans, and so many chemicals that are coming from factories and from other places that are polluting the air, the water and everything. We see that. ظَهَرَ الْفَسَادُ, the corruption has appeared. فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ, in the land and in the sea. بِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِي النَّاسِ, because of what the hands of people did or have done, because of what the people have done. We see that happening everywhere. Corruption is there. Those are the flashlights, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described, وَجَعَلْنَا مَصَابِيحِ وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا مَصَابِيحِ, flashlights. We see those lights or those stars, even though many of them, they have exploded already, which in other terms, in other words, they are dead. They are dead, but because they are far away millions of years and they are sending light, all we see is that light that continues to come to us even though the source of it is not there. And another ayah refers to that. Allah said what? فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِمَوَاقِعِ النُّجُومِ. He said, nay, I do swear by the location of the stars. Allah said, I swear by what? By the location of the star. Why not by the star? Later on, we figure out that many of these stars, many of the lights, as you're driving home, get the chance to look in the sky. You will see some stars. The stars are there. The light, that what you see is a light that's being sent by this star. But many of these stars are not there anymore. It is just the location of it that's there, because as I explained, they exploded. They are dead. But lights keep coming, and it doesn't end yet. They are far away, far distances. Allah said, I swear by the location of the mawaqi' al-nujum, or the locations of those stars. What could be, how perfect is the Quran and the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's not from any human being at this time, it's definitely from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we look in our own selves, سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. What is this that you see in here? Physicians can explain to us. It is the DNA, right? The DNA, the code of me and you with millions and billions. The numbers are not engaging or conveying. It's billions and billions and billions of pieces of information. What kind of hair, what color of hair, how will he think, and we pass. All of that is recorded in there on my DNA and your DNA in every single living cell of our bodies. في كل خلية حية, every single cell of our body, we have DNAs that if you put all of these in kilometers, I think it's going to come down to 300 billion kilometers. If you put all the DNAs in all the cells in the body next to one another in one line, you're talking about billions and billions and billions of lines. All of that is deep inside us. And هو الخالق, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is He, the al-Khaliq, the creator, al-Bari, the one who starts things from nothing, al-Musawwir, the fashioner, the one who gives shape. له الأسماء الحسنى, belongs to Him are the beautiful names. Say subhanallah. So if you put it together, it's going to be actually more than 100 billion, not 300, more than 100 billion kilometers. If you happen to take the DNA lines and make them in one line, it's going to keep going on and on and on. In your body, it's going to go on for 100 billion kilometers. أَفَمَنْ يَخْلُقُ كَمَنْ لَا يَخْلُقُ. Allah said in the Quran, is the one who creates like someone who does not create? Allah, the one who made all of that, would you make Him equal to anything or anybody who does not create? Look at the creation. Nobody, nothing, no factories, no person or entity can do that. One of the amazing things that we see in the books of Tafsir, Al-Qadr Al-Ma'loom, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is just a general picture of the sky. Allah said in one surah, Surah Al-Hijr, وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا عِندَنَا خَزَائِنُهُ وَمَا نُنَزِّلُهُ إِلَّا بِقَدَرٍ مَعْلُومٍ. Nothing, there is nothing that exists except that we have the treasures of it. خَزَائِن. وَمَا نُنَزِّلُهُ, we do not send it except with qadar ma'loom, with a specific portion. Specific portion that is being sent. Imam Ibn Kathir, he explains that, because Allah is talking about rain right after that. He said that all rain that comes every year is the same. Rain that comes down in one full year from here to here, if you compare it to the rain of the previous year and the next, it is always the same, not a drop more or less. Qadar ma'loom. But what happens is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends more rain to that area, less rain here. Maybe the next year more here and less here. And scientists figured out that this is a scientific fact just a few years ago, that all the rain that comes down is the same every year because water evaporates and rain comes down. It is only, Panama City will get that much this year, and maybe a drought will be somewhere some other time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is running everything. Subhanallah. Al-rih wal-riyah. Always the Quran we see al-rih, wind and winds. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says al-rih, that refers to punishment, which is like fast, speedy, destructive kind of wind. ريحا صرصرا في أيام النحسات. The wind that he punished some people. But about the good wind, he said winds, riyah. And they figured out that all the destructive kind of rih, they all go in one direction, either in circles or straight. That's destructive. But the other kind of winds that's blowing in different directions, those are usually a good sign. It means rain is coming and they are not as destructive. They also figured out that many of the bodies that make it to Earth, many asteroids come from outside. They found some kind of, the scholars, the scientists found some traces of life in there. مواد عضوية, some materials that refer to some life somehow that we do not know of. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. From His ayat is the creation of the skies and the earth. وَمَا بَثَّ فِيهِمَا مِنْ دَابَّةٍ. And whatever that He scattered in both of them, of anything that moves. So that could refer to in both فِيهِمَا, not فِيهِم, not فِي الْأَرْض, not, he said He's the one who made the skies and the earth, and He's the one who made in both of them Dabba. Dabba refers to animals, refers to anything that's alive. So up until now we could not figure for sure some life, but there are some signs and the Quran is talking about this. Obviously the different colors and creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يُسْقَى بِمَاءٍ وَاحِدٍ. We see all of that and more. So many fruits, so many colors of vegetables, and all of that is being given one water, the same water. The same water, we see different colors and we see a lot of miracles. فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِهِ. Allah said, let the human being look at his food. Just look at your food. Look at yourself. Look at the sky. How many times do you read that? وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. In your own selves, there are miracles. Don't you see? Okay, you don't want to look at yourself. Look at your food. Yes, it's delicious and good and I need it, I'm hungry, but look at it. Look at how this cherries, for example, how they are formed, how they are sour, how this is sweet, how this is green, how this is a little, soury, how this is more sweet, less sweet. وَنُفَضِّلُ بَعْضَهَا عَلَى بَعْضٍ فِي الْأُكُلِ. Allah said it's we, it's us who make some of them better over others in terms of eating. You prefer that, I prefer the other one. All of it is being given the same water, the same nutrition. We are talking about the lightning in here and the heavy, thick layers of clouds. Not any clouds. The heavy and thick layers of clouds. الغيوم الثقيلة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَيُسَبِّحُ هُوَ الَّذِي يُرِيكُمُ الْبَرْقَ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا وَيُنْشِئُ السَّحَابَ الثِّقَالِ. It is He who shows you the lightning, خوفا, out like fear, for fear, so that you know that there are other powers, وَطَمَعًا, and out of longing, like you long for the rahmah and the mercy and the rain to come down and water to come down, mixed feelings. He shows you that so that you have both feelings. And He said, وَيُنْشِئُ السَّحَابَ الثِّقَالِ, and He creates and establishes the thick layers of clouds. What is the relationship between lightning and السَّحَابَ الثِّقَالِ? They said lightning happened only when those thick layers of clouds would come. It's not any kind of cloud. It is a specific kind of cloud that are usually thick. Another miracle, I'll share with you just a few more, and then we open the door if you have anything to share. The picture of Fir'aun or Pharaoh. This is the mummy of Fir'aun, the ruler of Egypt, the one that's mentioned in the Quran. And Allah said, فَالْيَوْمَ نُنَجِّيكَ بِبَدَنِكَ. Today we rescue you, we will rescue you with your body. Badan. Badan is another word for jism, which refers to the body. We will rescue your body. لِتَكُونَ لِمَنْ خَلْفَكَ آيَةً. So you will be an ayah, a lesson, and something to look at for those who will come after you. He is there, preserved, in a miraculous way that's known only to the ancient Egyptians up until now. Bodies, they can preserve bodies in a way. They have some chemicals. I don't know what, nobody knows what do they do to keep bodies almost as is, skin and hair, even hair and everything. This is there. And they found out, Allah said he dies. How did he die? He drowned. He was drowned, right? They found that this mummy, when they had the, they analyzed it or they had samples from it, they found out that the reason of death was because of drowning. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even though they just found out about the specific mummy of Ramses II, which is Fir'aun, they found it just recently, like less than 100 years ago. وَهُوَ الَّذِي مَدَّ الْأَرْضَ. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that expands land and make it expanding for us right now. I was in the museum the other day. Earth is always changing. It was not like this. Literally Florida, because the museum was in Florida, it was showing Florida like 5 or 10 million years ago. It was, forgot the number, a few miles you can walk into the sea. You can walk into the Gulf of Mexico. It was not there. It was much bigger than this. And then over the years, water are rising and the land are decreasing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is expanding the land, and He is the one who proportioned that for us. And even before we move from here, if you look at I think it's coming somewhere, the proportion, the percentage of land versus water, 29% to 71% roughly. They found it doesn't need a scholar, it just need somebody to read over the Quran and count the words. The words of al-barr versus the word of al-yabas versus the word of al-bahr, which is land, versus sea. They found it 46 to 13. 46 times in the Quran, al-bahr, which is the sea or the ocean, versus 13 times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say al-barr, which is the land, the opposite of the sea. And that's, if you do the math, it's going to be 29% to 71%. Could it be an accident? Obviously not, subhanAllah. فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِالشَّفَقِ. I do swear by the twilight. Twilight that we know is the light that comes after Maghrib, a little bit the reddish color until Salatul Isha. Still see it in the west. And the twilight in the morning after Salatul Fajr, after dawn until sun rises. And there is also specific kind of twilight. This picture in here, amazing colors that you see only in the northern pole, في القطب الشمالي. At certain times you see them, and the scientists give the explanation because of this is a reflection of we were talking about the canopy, that's preserving the earth, magnetic fields that are preserving the earth from anything that comes from outside. They say this is what you see in here. This is a reflection. The layers of earth are reflecting so many of the harming materials and things and fires and things that are coming that could affect the earth. They are just reflecting it far away. And actually the quality of the picture itself is much better than what you see in here. It gives you at the end some pictures to enjoy, and it is a miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or ayah min ayatillah that He sweared by in the Quran. وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْحُبُكِ, and let's conclude by that. Allah sweared by as-sama, by the sky, ذَاتِ الْحُبُكِ. Al-hubuk is like a fabric. It's not just like a piece of some threads that are connected in any way. No, they are mahbuka. They are connected in a very, special fashion or manner. When they have this special snapshot of the sky, this was taken by the British Columbia University. They found out that this al-madda al-mudlima, or this black matter or dark matter that's forming the universe, if you just make some contrast, you will see this is how it is shaped, and it looks like it is shaped in a specific manner that it is not random at all. It is meant, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing by that. وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْحُبُكِ, by the sky, the one that is being like firmly connected, mahbukan, firmly connected. It's not just created in any fashion or any way. There are so many other pictures to show, but I don't want to make it lengthy or long. Feel free, inshallah, to share with us anything if you have any comments about this, or if you want to share any of the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you have seen yourself, or want to share with us? We may do that now, inshallah.
I just, one thing that every one of us drive a car, and the tires of the cars are very homogeneous, manufactured very homogeneous. The same, it's okay, I will get. It's okay. All of us drive cars, and you know that the tire of the car is very homogeneous. Yet you have to make dynamic balance for it. Otherwise, if you don't put these small little lead parts, stick them in a certain position, the car will, at a certain speed, you will see that your car will be shaking. Look at the Earth. The speed, the surface speed of the Earth is approximately 1,000 miles per hour. What we are sitting here, this is moving
1,000 miles per hour.
Yes, 1,000 miles. If you multiply, basically, the radius of the center is fixed, is not moving. Like the tire, even the car is running, you see that you can put your, basically, if you have a disc rotating, you can put your finger at the center of it, it's not going to do anything. But at the surface, it will help you. So the further you go out of the center, the faster the speed will be, the linear speed. So if you multiply the radius of the Earth times the angular momentum, which is basically 24 hours, the rotation, 360 degrees divided by 24. It comes to 15 degrees every hour. If you multiply this times the radius, give you the linear speed. But it's approximately 1,000 miles per hour. Exactly 1,670 something kilometers per.
The miracle is that how balanced it is.
This
is running
is
at
exactly,
this
this
speed.
is the point. Do you feel any shaking? And the Earth is not homogeneous. You see mountains here, some trees sticking somewhere, some ocean, water. How is this stable? This amazes me, okay? One of my colleagues, he's in material science, you are talking about, you saw the picture of the sky and the sun. He took a handful of sand, put them under a microscope. Any one of you has access to microscope. Take some sand, not even one particle is similar to the other. Every one has a different structure. Can you imagine about the stars? If I look at an atom of any material, the atom is actually consists of nucleus in the center, which is multiple particles of protons, positive charge, all condensed in very, very small area of the atom. How the positive, we know that positive with positive will rebel. What's holding these together? Okay. He was talking, what I'm saying about that, because he's saying that the sun is calculated that at one point of the time it will disappear. Why? Because it radiates energy, and if you look at the atom, just not to scare you, it's not going to disappear very soon. But uranium atom, for example, in order to go down from its full power to half its power, it's called half-life time. Half-life time of the uranium is 4.9 billion years. So the sun is nothing but fusion reactor. Fusion reactor in the sense of that lighter elements like helium will fuse together to form a heavier element, but this heavier element will be, the sum of the masses will be less than the input will be more than the output, so the rest will be conversion of energy. converting mass into energy is basically related with Newton's law, the Einstein's equation, which is energy is equal to mc squared, mass times the speed of the light squared.
That's going to be too heavy.
Just to give you an idea of what it is, if you take 1 gram is like nothing. Like to convert this into energy, we sell it with prices of gasoline today, it's approximately $10 billion, 1 gram, if we can convert this into energy. Okay?
Tons every second and every minute is.
If you look at the nearest star, right, maybe about 1 light year away. So what light we are seeing right now is a light year before, combusted, right? But suppose we switch the place. Okay, I am on that star, and I'm looking on the Earth. What you might see if you get 20-20 vision is like dinosaurs. I mean, it'll be like 1 billion years ago. So what we're doing 10 days ago, it might have traveled up to a certain extent, and if you watch
Let me make this easier. You never see the sun in its exact location. It's always 6 minutes later. Subhanallah,
This is how Earth looked from the moon, by the way.
Rasul ordered us to pray Fajr. I think it's 45 minutes before, but
sunrise.
Before sunrise. Whatever the time, but before the sunrise. But Maghrib, we should pray it right away after sunset, because if the sun is already set, it's already gone 6 minutes beyond the horizon. What you will see, the light the light coming from the sun to the earth to your eyes takes 6 minutes. So when the sun is starting to rise, basically once you start to see it, it's already moved somewhere, which is basically 6 minutes the time.
Is it 6 or 8 minutes? 8 minutes, I believe.
Oh, whatever. The exact what I remember is 6 minutes, but don't take me on the numbers. But basically, is the idea.
Concept.
Yeah, is the idea. And
so our accents are still out there. What we're doing is still out there, still transferring the images of what we've done.
It never disappeared.
So luck and play in front of you.
Allah said everything we recorded.
The light is moving and passing you and moving somewhere else.
Yeah, but what we're talking right now, that conversation is reaching to maybe.
It's more like it's moving. Yeah. It's transforming into waves.
Waves.
Those waves.
Somebody can listen to it.
Yes.
Billions of lights.
It's really beyond imagination. Yeah. And Isra wal Mi'raj. This is one of the things like when you said one khutbah or one speech that you give Rasul alayhi salam, the speed going up to, it's almost like, I said like 100 times the speed of light. It's actually much more than that. If you calculate, what was it, Sayyidina Sulaiman went from somewhere to the Adnan Ard, basically much more, I can imagine. And Rasul to get up,
travel very fast.
Travel that is much faster than anything you can imagine.
Do you have anything to share, brothers and sisters?
This about the Pharaoh's body, right? So this is the one thing I cannot understand. Anytime you talk to any Christian, in the Bible they will tell you the story about Pharaoh. How did he die? That he was drowned, and they have the exact same story that Musa alayhi salam parted the sea and Pharaoh followed them, and Allah closed the water, and he died in there. And this is where all the Christian scripture stops, and it ends there. And so whenever you bring it to their attention, that, okay, so explain me how in Quran the fact that Allah said that not only that, but after that we expel his body, we preserve his body, and it becomes an ayah for us to later on. Now, even though they know this, and I try to ask them, I said, what do you think? Where did this come from? And they still don't get it. They still don't understand.
Yeah, that's what led Maurice Bouquet, the French scholar, to be a Muslim. And actually he accepted Islam, and because of this very thing, and he wrote the book Allah and Science, Allah al-Quran wal-Ilm al-Hadith. Allah, the Quran, and the modern science. So only if the hearts are open, the guidance will come. Other than this, no matter how.
This is, by the way, how I really started to learn about Islam. But up to
From physics and all
before
these.
Maurice Bouquet, I really did not know anything about Islam.
إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. طيب جزاكم الله خيرا، وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. May Allah guide us all, inshallah.